Now we're rolling. Damage Plan MMA podcast. I'm Jason, as always, my co-host, Mr. Zack Partridge. We are back again. We were just talking about before we went live that we haven't recorded this much in a long time, a couple months.
Yeah, a couple fighter interviews. Got one more after this.
Got one more.
Trying to get everything done for Saturday.
Trying to get the main event scheduled to come on. We want both those guys out at the same time, so we're trying to work schedules around to get those guys on.
Are you talking to both of them?
Talking to Dunk earlier, he said he trains from 6 to 8.
Oh yeah, he's a night guy.
But he's an hour behind us, right? So that'd be, I think. Where's he? You know where he's at nowadays?
He's up in Idaho.
Crap, that's
your
right.
Internet's going.
Reception is bad. Son of a. All right, I'll be right back. Hang on.
He's gonna go yell at his kids. Get off the internet. Quit streaming. Yeah. So I did a little breakdown last night of the card. Oh, look at him, crystal clear.
I had to kick my boys off their video games because if their video games are going, Comcast sucks.
No, they're the worst.
They are the worst, and they have a monopoly because you can't go anywhere else.
There's nothing else.
You're literally stuck with crap internet. Bull crap.
Keeping it family friendly.
Yeah, we had a fun weekend of fights. We had some UFC fights, and we had the ADCC finals this weekend. What do you want to talk about for ADCC or UFC?
Let's go ADCC. I think you're way more into that right now than UFC.
Oh, I was pumped up about ADCC. Well, one, I was supposed to go, and
yeah, me too.
I took a job, and life happens. I couldn't go. My wife got to go, and she said it was an amazing experience. She said, and sold out Thomas and Mack Center. From people that have been there. 2 years. Yeah, back in 2 years. From people that have been there 2 years ago, said the production was off the charts. They changed everything. So yeah, you and I know both were watching it because we were texting back and forth. Shout out to Utah's own Amy Campo. Just crushing it.
It's pretty cool. I mean, pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I don't think it's a huge secret, but I gotta give respect. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying my overall little gym rivalry there, but you got to tip your cap to Amy and all the work that she's put in to put herself in a situation to be on the world's biggest stage for no-gi jiu-jitsu and upset Gabby Garcia, who's, what is she, like, 3-time ADCC winner?
3-4-time ADCC. Yeah, she's the GOAT as far as women's Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Is she really the GOAT, though? Because she's just huge, right? And
she is massive.
And, I think they said she weighed more than Gordon Ryan did.
Yeah, I heard she was pretty heavy.
So, I mean, that's just weight bowling, right? Like, she's just huge. She doesn't have a, she wouldn't pass a USADA test in 10 years if she went clean right now.
No.
I mean, she has everything in the world in her system. And not to be totally, like, just insensitive about it. I mean, she doesn't even look – she used to look ripped. She's not ripped anymore. She's just big.
I was reading that she doesn't walk around that big, that she actually is usually more defined, I guess, and that she puts on weight for the competition is what I was reading. I don't know if that's true.
Well, I think that worked against her because I thought she was huffing and puffing pretty hard by the second 5 minutes when it got to points.
I think she underestimated Amy a little bit.
She probably underestimates everybody.
And Amy wasn't backing down. She was bringing the fight to her. Did you see her post, Gabby's post after?
No.
She was complaining that she said the ref stopped it when Amy took her down, that the ref stopped it and she stopped fighting. But I rewatched it and she didn't stop fighting. And the ref didn't. I don't know if he said it, but all he did was stick his hands out because they were off the mat. You didn't.
Well, that's too bad that she's going to be an excuse maker. But at the end of the day, no and ifs or buts.
Amy
no
won,
and
yeah.
ifs or buts. Amy won every single one of those matches, and there was not really controversy in my eyes around it.
That last match was a nail biter. Like
that was wild.
I mean, the whole judging thing, and you and I were talking about it, the whole judging criteria and how they get points. Like, even though Amy was down, I felt like Amy was controlling the whole match, honestly.
So I love the ADCC format.
Yeah.
That the first 5 minutes, there's no points. Right? And then the second 5 minutes, it goes to points if there's no stuff. Because
awesome,
when I go do a jiu-jitsu tournament, I don't care about points. I am out there to get the finish.
Yeah.
Right? And I have coaches that are like, don't you dare dive for a whatever if you're up on points and lose position or whatever. I'm like, screw that. I'm going for a finish. But I really like that. I really didn't understand though, because like when Amy wasn't getting the points in the finals because she got the sweep, but then had to get the hooks in.
Had to get the hooks in. Yeah.
I was like, I kind of feel like you should get the points off the sweep. So because I mean, and talk about establishing a position. I mean, she had one hook in, but she was in control. She was in a dominant position without the second hook even. Like that girl was just turtled up for her life, basically.
There wasn't any point in any of her matches that she was really in trouble at all.
No.
Like she is fun to watch. And she's going to be a problem for a long time. Is she the Gordon Ryan of the female division? Like
probably calm down.
I mean,
Gordon Ryan's been doing it for a long time. She might be on her way. She might be on her way. But so here's the thing. And I will say this too. Gordon Ryan pretty much is exclusively a no-gi player.
Yep.
Where Amy trains in the gi and no gi.
Oh yeah, she does both. Yeah.
Right. So I think from that standpoint, no, she's not the Gordon Ryan.
I mean, she's pretty much dominated every no gi match she's been in. West Coast trials, dominant.
I'm just saying, win ADCC 3-4 times.
What's Ryan? 3 times? Ryan's 3 times now, right?
Yeah. And 3 different weight classes.
Yeah.
Too. So he's gone up in weight where she's doing the bigger girls already. I'm not trying to discredit. I'm just saying what she did is phenomenal. She's the best right now. She's the best.
Yeah.
Gordon Ryan's been doing it so much longer. She's not there yet. But if she wins it for the next 2 or 3 times, then that conversation's going to happen.
Gordon Ryan, man, that was impressive. That was super impressive. Same thing. He wasn't in any danger at anyone either.
I mean, okay, let's screw MMA. I'm going into jiu-jitsu so I can take all the steroids like all those guys.
They're all on the gas.
See, thank you, Carl. But Gordon Ryan is, when you sub in ADCC somebody in 11 seconds, like,
oh yeah,
he does
the one was
to
11.
other black belts what like normal black belts do to white belts.
Yeah. Steroids won't help you.
Not really fair.
Yeah, what was 11 seconds? What was the match with Nicky Rod? 2 minutes and 15 seconds?
Yeah.
And he just
basically did whatever he wanted.
Yeah. I don't think Nicky Rod's a black belt, though, is he? Isn't he like a purple belt or something? Brown belt, maybe? I don't think he's a black belt.
He's still ADCC.
He's still ADCC. Yeah, he's still a problem. Yeah. You know who impressed me was the Rotolo brothers.
Yeah.
19 years old. Those guys. I can't remember which. I get them mixed up, but the one that beat Felipe Pena, that was impressive, man. These guys are something else, man. Well, let's try again to go next year, Zach, since we were both planning on going. We had 2 years. Yeah, 2 years.
Carl, I beg to differ.
Steroids won't help you.
That's what Carl's got to be on the gas. That dude's ripped.
Okay, so time out. I get the steroids are going to help in a sense, but you still have to put in the work to get to that point. Like Gordon Ryan.
I mean, it's the same thing. If you're on steroids, so your muscles are recovering faster, you can train harder, longer, but more. But you have to put in the work.
But you have to do it. That's the thing. And the guys that do it, they can excel. I mean, Gordon Ryan, look, he's in phenomenal shape. Like he's like he
said he was only at 70% still from his stomach issues.
You're not just pinning yourself and then all of a sudden it's just happening.
I wonder what's doable. I wonder if it's doable, and what I want to see, I wonder if it's doable is if he can do the weight class, win the absolute and the super fight. Like
See, I thought so too, but why would he need to fight in the absolute when he's already killed the top guy in his weight class at the absolute, and everybody else is below him? It's kind of like a why type of thing. You know what I mean?
Because he can.
That's true. That is true.
Barry Bonds, though, that baseball is a little different, I think. I mean, think of how many hits get to the warning track. He probably hit an extra, 10, 15 home runs a year that were normal warning track.
You still got to make contact.
Oh, but I mean, he was a great hitter before he took steroids. He was a Hall of Famer before he took steroids.
Does anybody care that they take stuff? If you're a professional athlete.
In jiu-jitsu or in baseball?
In general. In sports in general.
So,
professional sports.
I think.
Do you care if your favorite football player is taking steroids? If it's an even playing field and everybody's taking it.
Well, then no.
I
think what they should do is probably just do it get a team doctor, do it under doctor supervision, and let them all make sure their hormones are balanced and everything, and let them go nuts. I mean, was baseball not at its absolute funnest when everybody was just jacking bombs?
The thing that people don't talk about though is people have been doing stuff for years.
Well, how about this? Everybody talks about the hitters. They were hitting them off pitchers who were on steroids too.
They had baseball players in like the 70s, 80s. They had jars of basically Adderall that those guys took before each game.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They were on everything.
They're all on stuff. Everybody's looking for some kind of performance enhancing, especially at that level. And
I think I've shared on this podcast my solution, what I think MMA should do.
Yeah, right? Share it again so everybody can. I think it's a great idea.
I think that the fighters should just disclose what they want to be on, and it's part of the contract negotiations. I want X amount of money. I need X amount of this. I need that. And by the way, I want to be on EPO. And then the other guy goes, cool. If you want to be on EPO, I want to be on EPO too. But I also want to make sure our testosterone levels are between 1,000 and 1,200. I'd like my testosterone levels to be 1,400. Like just disclose it and just let it be. Just put it out in the open and let it be transparent and let them agree to it.
I mean, on an amateur
level, like Bryce Mitchell, you think he cares if anybody's on all the gas?
That's what I'm saying.
No, he's still going to strangle him.
Especially like on an amateur level, like a local amateur level, I don't really think to me, it's not going to make a difference. You start getting into professionals where you're talking EPO, where you need to have a doctor checking levels, making sure everything's good. That's a different story. But just general bodybuilding steroids at a local level ain't helping you, dog.
Makes you look better at weigh-ins. That's about it.
It's going to make you look better at weigh-ins. You're probably going to tear a muscle.
Gas faster.
They're probably going to gas faster because they're not doing it right. They don't know enough. Just my opinion.
I don't know about it, like just being the Wild West but if there was if the UFC or if Bellator, right? They're like, we're going to spice things up at Bellator a little bit. we're gonna include this in the negotiations where fighters can be on whatever they want. They just have to disclose it in the contracts. Just can't hide what you're on.
Yeah.
And then the fighters agree to fight each other knowing what the other fighter's on. I mean, does it make me tune in a little bit more? Probably.
I mean,
like, do you think Yoel Romero's clean over there? No.
Come on.
The Cuban Missile? Come on, dog.
You know those guys. There's ways to beat that stuff that those guys are. Yeah.
Well, they're freaking
interesting.
USADA's figuring out new ways to catch people and then going back and testing old samples.
Well, they go back and wake people up at 3 a.m. for their test the night of their fight.
So I was told the reason why they do that is because EPO gets out of your system if you take EPO when you go to bed, it's out of your system by the time you wake up in the next morning. So that's why they go do it at like 5, 6 in the morning, is try to catch the EPO people. Like, that's so dumb. You know what?
That doesn't make sense. Yeah. I don't know.
That's what they're saying. That's what the rumor is of that's their excuse, which is just, especially when guys are cutting weight, that's lame.
Yeah. I'm glad Dana was like, this ain't happening again.
No.
You can't be waiting. I mean, it's dangerous.
You ready for this? Do you know why the UFC brought USADA in?
Why is that?
To make the sport less of a liability so it's more sellable, so that they could get that $4.2 million price tag when they sold it to WME.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Because as an investor, do you want to buy a known dirty sport where everybody's on steroids? No. You want to buy a clean sport that's ran the right way, right? So that's why the UFC brought USADA in, not for the integrity of the sport, so they get more money when they sold it.
Yeah. I'd be curious of, we don't have to keep rambling on about steroids.
Dude, steroids, like you said, you can take all the steroids in the world, but if you're not putting in the work in the training room, don't matter, dog.
I see it I've seen it every day in the bodybuilding world. Guys just taking whatever as much as they can, and they look the exact same week after week. It's like, dude, you got to put in the work, man. Your nutrition's got to be on point. Your work's got to be on point. Like, you need to be taking your training to another level. If you're putting your body at that much of a risk, people think it's a miracle drug. I've heard it all the time. Dude, give me a cutter. I need a cutter. Get on the treadmill and put down the Twinkies, and there's your cutter.
I love Twinkies. How dare you?
Fried Twinkies? You like fried Twinkies? I've never had a fried Twinkie, but it sounds good.
Let's go.
It sounds really good. Well, should we talk about this fight card? We didn't get to do our little picks on here because we were busy.
No, we didn't, but we did okay.
Yeah. We'll just jam through this real quick. Mota with the first round finish against Cameron Van Camp. That's a good win. Van Camp has a lot of experience in that one.
Big win.
Basrat beats Tony Gradley by unanimous decision. I think we both were on
savage.
Yep.
And so does his little brother that was just on the Contender Series.
Yeah.
They fight the exact same way.
Jillian Robertson gets the submission, the rear naked choke.
Maria Agripova is not good.
No.
You ready for this? She's not good. And Jillian Roberts choked her unconscious and she had a seizure in the cage. That was wild. Did you see that?
I didn't watch the whole thing.
She was foaming at the mouth. It was it was intense. It was intense. Jillian Roberts, I'm still a fan. She's not the greatest in the world. She's not a world beater, but she has that's 8 wins by submission in the UFC.
Yeah, that's impressive. The most by a female in the UFC, right?
Yeah.
Her and Charles Oliveira do a submission only match.
What?
That's just wrong.
Okay, I'm gonna go challenge Gordon Ryan.
Did you just saw some guy on TikTok today? Somebody asked him a question. He's like, "How would you fare against Gordon Ryan?" The guy's like, "Just like everybody else."
I saw that.
It's like, I don't stand a chance. Trey Ogden gets a unanimous decision win against Daniel Zellhuber.
Big upset. He was like a plus 350.
That's right. He was. Loma Lukbunmi. She beats Gomez, unanimous decision. I didn't watch that one.
She's good.
Trevin Giles, unanimous decision over Luis Koski. Damon Jackson with the big win over Pat Sabatini.
Okay.
That was a
Big
good win.
upset. Big props. Just lost his brother. His brother just passed away.
Brother just passed away. I wish I would have known that prior to the fight.
So you ready for this?
Yeah.
Everybody was telling me, Pat, say, you know me, I've always been on Damon Jackson. Like I get on him, on everyone.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, no, Pat Sabatini's just a better version of Damon Jackson. And I'm like, are you sure? And people are going back and forth on me. And I didn't listen to my gut. I'm not betting against Damon Jackson again. I'm not.
Well,
he's going to be one of my ride or dies.
He's been on a tear. He was undefeated in the UFC. He's 4-0 in the UFC. He's been on a tear.
And that's a huge win. And he didn't just beat Pat Sabatini. He hit him hard, blitzed him. Like, dude.
Yep.
Savage.
Anthony Hernandez pulls off the arm triangle choke against Andre Barryu.
Anthony Hernandez might be a problem in the 185-pound division.
He might be. Nascimento with a split decision win over Tanner Boser. That was one that I was like, oh, I don't know, man. I don't know about that one. I don't know how that one plays out.
I didn't really see how a judge could give it to Boser, but
I didn't see it either. Boser, you talked about it. You think Boser might need drop down.
He's a lighter heavyweight that tries to stay light, so he has the speed advantage. But against some bigger guys, like some of those guys got 40, 50 pounds on him.
Yep.
That's a big deal, especially in the grappling.
Yeah. Next up, this guy might be a problem in the middleweight division. Joseph Pfeiffer, that guy is a savage.
You know, he's one of those. He's young. He's hungry.
He's big.
He's athletic. Trains with Sean Brady and those guys.
Yeah, he could be a problem. Body bags. I like it. Andre Touchy-Feely gets the win against Bill Algeo.
My guy. Did you hear Feely attack one of the judges after?
Yep.
He's right.
He is right. He is right.
I'm not sure which judge it was. I think it was Chris Lee, who's widely regarded as one of the better judges. Totally screwed the pooch on that.
Yeah, I was watching.
Punching over your head does not count as almost finishing over somebody's armor.
Yeah.
Dude. That was bad. I'm happy he didn't get screwed. I love Andre Feely. I was on him. He only loses to killers. I like Bill Algeo, but
Yep.
I like Feely a lot. He's still my guy.
Gregory Rodriguez with a huge win against Chidi Jinkoina.
That cut on his nose. Dude, his nose was like the skin was falling down off of his face.
Dude, I talked you into that one. I'm like, dude, RoboCop, man.
You did. No, you did. I was kind of leaning the other way, and you're like, I like RoboCop. And I was like, last second, did the little.
He could take a shot. That guy just walks through stuff. Like, gets cracked.
Oh,
I mean, I turned on that fight, and he was just getting at the end of those punches too, just walking forward, marching forward.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know where he's going to go in the middleweight division, but I like watching him fight. He's fun to watch.
I'm with you.
Corey Sandhagen and Sonia Dong. Sandhagen, man, he's a problem.
No, he's just elite.
He is.
He's elite. In the UFC, his losses are to Aljamain Sterling, the champ, Petr Yan, the number 1, and TJ Dillashaw, number 2.
Split decision against TJ. Close, super close fight against TJ.
Razor thin. Like they could fight each other 10 times and it might be 5-5.
Yeah.
Right. So, dude, and he actually gave Yan a really tough fight too.
That was a tough fight too.
I think Corey Sandhagen, I still think he'll be champ eventually.
I want to see him running back with Sterling because Sterling, remember, he got him
caught him quick and early.
That one.
And that loss kind of changed. Sandhagen Sandhagen's just got more violent and vicious in his approach.
So does Sandhagen get the winner of Sterling and Dillashaw?
Sandhagen, Cheeto Vera.
I love that fight.
That's your number 1 contender fight. But sorry, Marab's on the out looking in.
Or does Yan get the winner of, because Jan's won, but are they going to let him run it back if Sterling wins?
Well, Jan's fighting O'Malley.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So that leaves Merab, who's not going to fight Sterling if Sterling wins. We already know that. They're not going to fight each other.
Rob said he'll go down to 125.
And I think Sterling said he was willing to go up or down too, wasn't he?
Up to 145.
145, yeah. That division's getting sneaky fun.
Oh, we've been talking about it for 2 years.
Yeah,
it's
sneaky
loaded.
Fun division, man. I still like Sterling over Dillashaw. Not changing my pick. I think he'll be ready.
I agree. We've been on that together.
Yeah.
The one that's really interesting is I feel like a lot of people are giving him O'Malley a really good chance against Jan. And I'm not going to lie, I just don't see it.
You talk about it all the time. There's levels to this. And Jan's just on another level right now.
Like O'Malley wilted to Cheeto Vera's pressure. What's going to happen when Jan is in his face constantly? And Jan's a better boxer.
He's gonna hunt him down. It's a win-win though for O'Malley, right? Like, hey, if he loses, I just lost to the number one guy. I'm the 15th ranked guy in the division. Okay.
Maybe. Yeah, no, it's a perfect fight for O'Malley.
It gives him something to build off of, and if he wins, now it's like, holy crap, this guy just beat the number one guy in the division. I mean, I don't hate him for taking the fight. It's just gonna raise his stock.
No, you take that fight. You take that fight if you're O'Malley. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I think he believes he can win that fight. But what it surprises me is how many fans are going, "Oh no, O'Malley! He's gonna get him. He's too long. He's too this. He's too that." And I'm like, too long. Did you see what Jan did to Sandhagen?
I was gonna say, but at that level, I don't really think that's making that much of a difference as it would on like a local level, beginning UFC, like, you know what I mean? But you get to where Jan's at, dude, he's been training with guys that are big and long.
I mean,
Corey
Sandhagen's 5'11", right? With a 70-inch reach.
Yeah.
Okay. So 5'11" with a 70-inch reach. Hold on. I'm just pulling it up here. Come on.
Yeah. Hey, in 8 minutes, we got Joe Haro coming on for the Fighter Spotlight too. So stay tuned.
And then O'Malley is 5'11" and a 72-inch reach. So he's got a 2-inch reach advantage. You really think that 2 inches is going to be the difference of, like, I don't know. And I think, dude, see, I think the fight that you could have made was, if you want to make a step up in competition, was O'Malley and Sandhagen. Same body style, everything,
Yeah.
I just feel like it's an L for O'Malley. Yeah.
Oh, give O'Malley. Why didn't they give O'Malley Nurmagomedov, Umar?
Because they don't want him to lose.
They don't want him to lose to a guy that's below him in the ranks.
They don't want him to lose to a guy that's not number one.
Yeah.
Because Umar probably beats them all.
Yeah.
If they're not ranked. Man, did you see, real quick, talking about O'Malley, that Chris Mountaino, the green hair guy that got pieced up by O'Malley?
Yeah.
He lost 2 fights and they cut him.
Come on, man. Give the kid a shot.
That's what he's saying. He's like, he's like, man, I just felt like I didn't really get a chance. I took 1 fight on, a few days notice. And then I lost another fight and then they released me. Like I didn't get a chance. And then Tyler Diamond goes, I lost 1 fight to Bryce Mitchell and I never got a chance. Like,
and it was controversial, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, super close.
Super controversial.
Super close.
I want to see him back in the cage. It sounds like I don't know if he's going to be fighting again, though. It seems like from what I've been seeing. That sucks, man. That sucks. I love watching him fight. It's tough, though, man, to put in your all like that and then to see guys get pushed ahead of you that you're better than. I mean, there's a lot of guys in the UFC right now that he's better than.
Dude, hands down. See, that's what I don't understand. Like we said it when we watched Chris Curtis. I adamantly said he's a top 15 middleweight in the UFC right now. I said it the night we watched him at Fierce. And lo and behold, all of a sudden now he's there. Like, we knew this. How do we?
Is he just? There's too many guys like him. There's too many guys like him in the UFC. Maybe that, and he's not.
He's not boring though.
Not necessarily, maybe marketable. I don't know. I thought he was marketable, but
he's not boring at all.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Well, did you watch Triple G fight Canelo?
Yeah.
Did you watch that?
Yeah. I picked Canelo by decision.
I figured it was going to go that way. Money. Ballin'. All right. We'll get off of this podcast. Yeah, too old. He needs
tough as nails, too old.
Yeah. All right, we're going to jump off here.
Between now and the next 4 minutes, could you fix your internet, please? Your internet sucks.
It keeps going in and out. I know. All right. I'm jumping out. We're fixing the internet. Joe Harrell's coming on Fighter Spotlight. Tune in. 4 minutes. We out.